Welcome, friends. The days are getting shorter, the air is crisp, and before we know it, Advent will be here. For us as Catholic moms and our families, Advent isn't just the countdown to Christmas. It's a beautiful invitation to slow down, focus, and prepare spiritually for the arrival of Christ. But let's be real for a second. Between the holiday shopping, the school activities, and all the family obligations, the idea of preparing for Advent can feel a little overwhelming, right? So how do we navigate this season with all its busyness and still find time to create space for that quiet anticipation that Advent is all about? How do we prepare our hearts and our homes? Well, I'm here to share some creative, intentional, and meaningful ways to do just that. Because Advent is about so much more than just checking off our to-do lists. So grab a coffee and sit down because we need to talk. Hey there, welcome to the Catholic Homework Podcast, the place for moms striving to balance home, work, and holiness. This means honest conversation plus manageable, actionable tips for you busy working moms who are seeking to grow in grace within the limits of your busy day. I'm your friend and host, Verity Lucia. I'm a passionate Catholic, wife, and working mom of 4 kiddos, 2 of which I homeschool. As an author, I write supernatural Catholic fiction for teens. I'm also a speaker and architectural designer. So when it comes to balancing faith and family, you know I'm in the trenches. Holy trenches, that is. Because I firmly believe every moment is an opportunity for greatness in your work, personal, and faith life. It's so great to meet you. I can't wait to journey this wild walk together. Advent is about prayer, reflection, and anticipation. It's a kind of preparation. We prepare our hearts and we prepare our homes. But we know how easy it is for prayer time to fall by the wayside when life gets busy. So how can we make prayer more engaging for ourselves and our families during this season? One thing many families do is create and light an Advent wreath. I love the tradition of lighting the candles every Sunday, but this year, what if we do a little twist to make it a little more interactive? What if each time you light a candle, you add something special, like a brief reflection on the virtues of Advent, hope, peace, joy, and love, or pray for specific intentions as a family? And hopefully we get the kids involved too. Maybe each one of them can light one of the candles, or better yet, even lead the prayer. Another thing to consider might be ditching the traditional Advent calendar with chocolate, because let's be honest, there are enough sweet treats around the holidays anyway, right? I just purchased one of those refillable ones, like the little box drawers that come out, and I'm thinking it would be fun if instead of putting candy in each one of them, I write a little scripture reading on it, or maybe prayer, family prayer intentions, or fun activities. Maybe we could do something like write a letter to a family member, or it just occurred to me I could say do the dishes. I don't know if they'd love that one. I'll have to think more on it. But I like the idea of mixing it up. If you guys have any traditions, I would love to hear about it. If you could just write them in the comments, that would be great. Another idea is an Advent prayer jar. You could write down prayer intentions and reflections on little slips of paper, put them in a jar on the table, and then every day as a family you pull one out and pray together. It's a simple practice, but it could really deepen the experience of Advent. Now let's talk about creating space in your home. Advent is a time to prepare our hearts for Christ, but we can also prepare our homes to reflect that sense of peace and reverence. The goal is to make our environment a sanctuary, a place that invites stillness in the middle of the chaos. One idea I love is dedicating a corner of your home to be a sacred Advent space. Think of it like a little altar, a place where you can set up your Advent wreath and nativity scene and maybe a favorite prayer book or journal. Make it a spot where you can pause throughout the day for prayer and reflection. If you're looking for something more minimalist, maybe try to keep the decorations simple. Sometimes less is more, and a few well-placed candles or simple nativity scene can be just as beautiful and meaningful as an entire room filled with decor. Maybe this year you and your family could even make your own decorations, like handmade paper stars or garlands that represent light in the darkness. These little touches help us focus on the deeper meaning of Advent rather than the material side of Christmas. And here's something I love doing: giving your home room to breathe. How often do we feel overwhelmed by the clutter during the holidays? This Advent, try scaling back a bit. Take a moment to clear away the excess and give your home space to feel calm and peaceful. When we reduce the clutter, it's easier to focus on what truly matters. And it's a great reminder for the whole family that Advent is about making room in our hearts too. Advent is a time for spiritual renewal, and what better way to prepare our hearts for Christmas than by seeking the grace of the sacrament of reconciliation. Many parishes offer special confession times during Advent, so why not make it a family tradition this year? There's something so powerful about experiencing the sacrament together as a family, preparing our hearts as we await Christ's coming. If you can't make it to confession just yet, take time for personal reflection. Encourage your kids to think about ways they can grow in love, patience, and kindness this season. It's a beautiful way to make the most of Advent's call to renewal. As Catholic moms, we have the incredible privilege of shaping how our families experience this season. By simplifying, slowing down, and focusing on what really matters, we can make this Advent one of deep spiritual renewal. So this year, let's embrace the beauty of Advent with creativity and intention. Let's create memories, build traditions, and most importantly, prepare our hearts and homes for the coming of Christ. So here's your homework for this week. Be intentional about Advent. Mix up your traditions and create something new to experience together as a family. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this time together, please do like, comment, follow, or share with a fellow working mom who might just need a little homework in her life. It was great hanging with you today. See you soon.